Hey everyone, very warm welcome to this interview with Angelina. Now, Angelina is one of those people who took my programs, has been coaching with me for a while, and I actually had no idea how good her results were. And she randomly messaged me one time, told me how much revenue she'd done, and I was in shock. Like so many people take my programs, watch my videos and stuff, and they just go out there and they just implement and they just build the business. And I only get to see a very small snippet, a small percentage of the results it's actually created. So I love it when you guys share with me your case studies. And that's why I said to Angelina, we have to jump on a call and talk about this to inspire everyone. So it's great to have you here, Angelina. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks, Ali, for interviewing me. Thanks.
Very welcome. So what I wanted to start with is, so you've got this business now. Obviously, you told me your results, you made a lot of progress. So before you started, like what doubts did you have or what fears did you have about being able to get results? And like, did you have any limiting beliefs or anything in the back of your mind before you started building the business?
Well, at the time, my time was very limited. So I was worried that I might not have the time for it, or if I went on the internet, could I find the same information? But because my time is limited, I found that this program was very helpful with guiding me to the correct direction in a limited time, because I do believe that you offered me direction, a business direction as to how I could profit. And your videos are very short, so that was very helpful to me at the time.
Awesome. So you're obviously you don't have too much time. You're a mum, right? So you obviously that takes up pretty much 24 hours a day. So yeah, one of the things I did in the beginning when I was building my programs was, yeah, try and keep things concise because I've been on courses where, you know, the videos are like hours long, and I'm just thinking I just want to get started and make some progress. So I'm glad you enjoyed the short videos. So let's talk about your results. Like, so you've been doing this now for a couple of years. Um, yeah, let's talk about the revenue. So how much revenue have you made altogether in the business?
£282,000 since 2019, I would say.
Wow, that's unbelievable. So what was your best year altogether?
My best year is around £127,000, and that was in year 2020.
Wow. So during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was. It really, that time was a kind of eureka moment for me.
Really? Tell me about the eureka moment.
Well, at the start, because I was still trying to learn a lot from the program, and of course, it does come with trial and error. So suddenly, by that time, my knowledge had around just before the pandemic, I think my knowledge matured a little bit more. And then when that opportunity came, everything seemed to have fallen into place, and I suddenly made a revenue I didn't expect to have. And that made me feel that I could do this and I could push this even further.
Wow. Because the demand levels went up so much during the pandemic, right? Because we had people who were like 60, 70, 80 years old who had never done any online shopping before because they just weren't in the habit of it, or some just didn't trust it. And now they're stuck in their house, and the only way they can get the things they need is by ordering stuff. Obviously, Amazon is like the gold mine, right? If you're shopping. So the demand just went like this. So obviously you saw that in your business. So so you had your best month during 2020, right? Tell me about that.
So the best month, well, it was a very stressful time for everybody, including my partner with his job, and then he managed to keep his job. It was no problem, but I think it was a great relief for him to know that I was making an extra income as well at a time of uncertainty, and that was very. It was a good time to know that we had this on the side. So that was great. I mean, my partner now, he also sometimes sources products as
Oh,
his
wow.
part-time job and sends it into my accounts, and he's having fun, and he's slowly doing that as a side job now as well for fun, just
That's
extra.
awesome. That's so cool. So it's a team effort sometimes, right? You both help to build a business. Amazing. So how much revenue did you make in your best month?
So my best month was £21,000.
Wow, in a month. That's incredible. That's more than some people earn in a whole year, right?
Yes, so for the May of June of 2020, I made £40,000 in revenue.
Wow,
So that was a good 2 months for me.
that's amazing. So 40K combined in over 2 months, so over 60 days.
Yes, I mean, because if I did start with £1,000 when I started my business in 2018, I didn't put a large sum of money into starting this business. I slowly let it compound.
Right.
And so when you see where I started and what the revenue was, then you would realize that, oh, actually, there was a large increase by, compounding the £1,000.
Definitely. Yeah, starting with £1,000 and getting to the point where it's doing up to 20 grand a month it's incredible. It's actually difficult to think of another business model where you could actually do that realistically. So let's talk about strategies. So which strategies were you doing during that year to actually bring in all this revenue?
Well, at the time, I started with retail, then I went to online, and now I do a bit of both. So sometimes it's really funny because I don't do a lot of retail, but I might be just doing my groceries at Tesco's, or I might go to the shops around my neighborhood, and I might just see on the shelf something interesting, and I might just scan it in, and I'm like, oh, this can help me make a few extra. And sometimes, I would be buying a birthday present for my son's for someone's birthday party, and then on the side I would be sourcing, and I would have got like some products on my trolley that would earn me maybe £200-300 on the way. So that's comforting. That would be
Yeah,
comforting.
that's really cool. So you can go shopping and actually make cash rather than losing cash or spending cash, which is such a cool thing. So for those of you who don't know, let's say, Angelina, someone was watching this and they're like, okay, you did retail and you did online. They've never heard of the Amazon opportunity before. How would you describe retail? We call it retail arbitrage. How would you describe it to like a complete newbie?
Well, once I learned the formula that Ollie gave me, it really was an eye-opener. It's that, most shoppers go to shops and they don't realize that there are opportunities everywhere, even in your neighborhood shop. And, people would be worrying about money, not knowing how to earn money. And sometimes I even would look at the shopkeepers wondering, why am I buying all these products? And they might give me a funny look, but then I would also think like, these products are giving me the freedom to not be at the cashier at this moment working, and it's freedom. I would say this is just freedom, and I needed that because I am a mother of two, and it's important for me that I have the ability to take care of my family, just do all the housework, cook for them, be their chauffeur, and this allowed me to do that. And this is a great opportunity for house moms, because I have a lot of friends who actually had to give up their day jobs to care for their children, and this really helped me as a mother.
That's so cool. So when you're out and about looking in a retail shop, you're finding products, they're usually discounted then, like on like the bargain shelf or something in the shop, and then they're selling for a lot more on Amazon, and that's how you make the money, right?
Actually, not necessarily. Some of them are actually not on sale. They're just the normal prices. Well, sometimes I would look at the sales area, but you might be surprised that most of them that you would profit from are not from the sales rack. But I think, in the beginning when I started, retail, I mean, I remember that moment where I spent a whole day at Sports Direct, And then I finally found one product, and that took me a long time. I was like, oh my goodness, I was here for almost my whole day just trying to find something. But with experience, now that you know how the data works, you know what consumers are looking for, you know what products are popular, what isn't. When you go into a shop, it's quite easy now for me to know which product might have a chance
Mm.
to be a profitable item.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you scan them with an app. Like, which app do you use to scan the products to compare the price?
I just use the Amazon app, the Amazon seller app, and
Yeah,
I don't use anything special, just the Amazon seller app.
that's so cool. So you scan the barcode in the shop, it tells you what the product is selling for on Amazon, and then you can very quickly in the shop, you can make the decision, is this going to make me profit or is it not? So I'm curious, like, which categories would you say you mainly source products when you're doing arbitrage? Like, what types of products are you usually looking for?
Well, it changed a lot, and it changes through time. But last year it was toys, baby products, and sometimes it would be I would find it, at the time. I remember I was at the shops, and it was a little toy car, like a very tiny one, from Disney, and that was selling it was selling very well on Amazon. And so that was me just going to the shops, trying to take every time, going back to see what they had. And of course, the shop was actually running out of the stocks to fund what, the demand on Amazon was. So it's always something different. But at the time, it was a little car for me.
It's so random, isn't it? I've had, yeah, so many products. I remember a cat litter scoop once was selling for like 70p in Asda, and on Amazon it was selling for £14. I've had call blockers that were selling for £5. Robert Dyers. I mean, it's always something completely random, isn't it? That just starts selling really, really well. And you just have to keep looking for the products to get to those ones that sell really, really well. So that's really inspirational. So I'm curious, how did the coaching help you to actually build the business and get these results that you've got so far?
Well, first of all, I do think you're very generous with your information. You are truly trying to give us a roadmap of what you have tried and tested, and this would save your students a lot of time, like myself. I don't really have time to go on the internet to source for information. And I also think for me, because, well, you're from the UK and you started your business in the UK, it was very important then for me to find a coach from the UK, because let's say if I found information, most of them would be from Amazon USA. I don't feel the information applies to me. And I think at the time that was very important for me,
That makes a
that
lot of sense.
I could relate to.
Yeah, because I had the same thing. Like, when I was starting my business, I couldn't find anyone in the UK. I mean, it was back in 2015, and I was looking around in 2014, and there was basically no one in the UK doing this. So I learned everything from America, loads of trial and error, and then brought it to the UK. And then I realized there was like this need for a coach in the UK because there wasn't many. And yeah, so I totally relate to that. It's nice having someone in the same country because it is different. I mean, it's the same business model, but it is different. Depending on where you sell. So if we look at your life before selling on Amazon, right, and we look at your life now, what changes have you seen since building the business and getting these results?
Well, a lot of changes. First of all, it's nice to have financial independence as, a housewife, a mom. It's nice to know that I'm able to, take my family, my friends for a meal, and knowing that I don't have to worry about the bills. I mean, I can afford it. I can pay for trips. It's also, the most important is freedom. I am a 24/7 mom. I'm always there for my boys. I can chauffeur them around their activities. I can be there for them. I can, you know, during the pandemic, while I was working my Amazon business, I was also helping them tutor at home because the moms had to stay home to care and you know, educate their children. And I think this was this really made me realize that I made the right decision to jump on the bandwagon. And seeing the results, it not only makes me happy, it makes my partner very happy as well. It reassures him a bit that it's not all on his shoulders. And it's just nice for my boys to know that I am the mom that I could be for them. Yeah.
That's so cool. And yeah, you must be a good role model as well, because obviously they see you, you know, looking after them and running a business as well, which is, yeah, super inspirational. So let's say someone's watching this and they've just found out about the Amazon opportunity. And they're like, should I get started? Should I not? Does it really work? Now, what would you have to say to somebody who was thinking about building the business?
Well, I started with a very small budget. You know, I think you can even start with less, but I started with £1,000, and my time is limited because of all the demands my home needs me for. And so I spent around 1 to 2 hours per day working, trying to understand the information Ollie gave me, and then try to apply it to real life. And slowly, you know, my knowledge, my experience, my skills, as well as my business slowly compounded. And, you know, I mean, I'm still at the stage where I want to increase my business. I want to, you know, do better and better, you know, and I think it's all about just spending a little bit of time, a few days a week, and just, you know, trying to make it work and just do it, really. And it will be worthwhile. I mean, even if you have a day job, just spend a bit of time each day as a side job, and who knows where it will go. I mean, you know, like any other business, it does take time to grow, but you know, with the world evolving now to e-commerce and online, I think it would be beneficial to understand how e-commerce works. And I think learning and going into Amazon is actually a good decision. For me, it was a good decision. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. So Angelina, thanks so much for agreeing to this interview. Thanks again for being an example of what you can do with an Amazon business. Yeah, I can't wait to catch up with you in a year or so when things have got even bigger and you've got even bigger results. So thanks so much for being here. It's much, much appreciated.
Thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. We'll catch up soon, okay?
Thank you.